Bungee!
Jumping out of an airplane or bungee jumping can cause a lot of fear in a person. Trust me, I know. But do we let fear prevent us from achieving our goals in life, what we really want to do? In this video, I'm going to share a few tips that can help you overcome your fears. Dr. Ted here, and welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Fear can lead to a lot of disappointment, resentment, regret, especially when you reflect back on your life and can see how fear has paralyzed you, prevented you from being all that you can be in life, achieving what you desire, your goals, your aspirations. A couple of common fears. Fear of rejection. I see somebody over there, oh, I like them, or there's somebody I just want to talk to, they look interesting, but I don't go over and approach because they could reject me. I fear, oh, maybe they won't want to talk to me, so I stop. Fear of commitment. Well, if I commit to, for example, a relationship, there's a possibility that it could go bad, right? Or it could go wrong, and then why put myself through that? Why put myself through that stress, that anxiety? So I don't want to. Fear of failure. Well, you know what? I could learn to do that kind of driving, for example, driving maybe, a motorcycle, for example, but, I could have an accident, I could crash, so I won't do that. There's a possibility of something happening. Fear of isolation. I could be alone, right? I could be alone, so I'll just choose anybody to be with. I could choose somebody that I'm not really compatible with. Maybe they're not really a good partner, or maybe they're not really a good friend, but I just want somebody, right? Because I don't want to be alone. Fear of change. There's, for example, a position in your company, a new position, a higher position. But, if I apply for it, I get it. Now that, maybe now I have to work longer hours. I maybe need to commute more to work. Maybe I need to lead a lot stronger than what I do now. Maybe people won't like what I do or like me. I won't do it. Fear of pain. Now, pain is part of life. Suffering is part of life. But do we kind of put off all pain together, that we don't want to do anything that could cause pain, by enduring pain, by kind of dealing with pain for a short term, for example? That could lead us to a lot more success, to what we want. So understanding the impact of pain, I don't want to have any pain, so I won't do it because I'm fearful of it. When we have fear, a couple of things can run through our mind. For example, better safe than sorry. What happens if I lose everything? I'll never be as good as that person, so why should I take the chance? Fear can prevent us from achieving what we want in life. It can keep us down. Fear can paralyze us. Let's not be paralyzed anymore by our fears. A few tips to overcome your fears. Tip 1. Take things day by day. Some people will say, well, okay, I'm fearful of crowds, for example. So they have somewhat of a social anxiety. I'm just going to rush in. No. Take it day by day, because perhaps for many years you've been having this fear of crowds. If you just go rushing in, you could set yourself up for a real failure. Day by day. So for example, you see a few people, maybe you go over and just say hello. You don't have to have a conversation, but just say hello. Next day, you see a few more people, you go over, you kind of, speak a few words, you listen a bit. Maybe day 3, you see a few people, you go over and kind of have ongoing conversations, maybe it lasting out to maybe 5-10 minutes, but really making an effort to be part of the conversation, to kind of interact with people. And in another day, you could, for example, have a little meeting with people, kind of gather people up, present some ideas. You kind of be the boss of the crowd in a way. So that kind of gets you more familiar with people, talking to them, listening. So build up slowly. Don't expect to, I'm just going to do everything in a day. Build up to it slowly with small little goals, small little victories. Somebody once said to me, how do you eat an elephant? Piece by piece. So think about it like that. Do things piece by piece, step by step. Number 2, change your thinking, change your mindset. Do you see the glass half empty, half full? Something from the past, is that kind of clouding you? Is that kind of saying to you, well, this happened in the past? For example, public speaking. You tried 5 years ago to do some public speaking. It went pretty bad. So that's what's going to happen if you try again. Is that fair? Is that right? Can the past always predict the future? So really kind of thinking about those thoughts and thinking, maybe I can be a little bit negative or too fearful. So replacing that maybe with more positive thinking, or visualizing yourself with the public speaking example, being up there in front of everybody, saying a very good speech, feeling the crowd's energy, having them clap, right? Having them clap and kind of say, wow, pretty good speech, congratulate you at the end. So really kind of having that mindset of, yeah, it could go bad, but it could go pretty good. And this is how it would be. And this is how I would feel. I would feel great. I would overcome that fear. Tip 3, writing things down. People can go all over in their mind, overthink things, be up in their head. But by getting things down and out, it can have things more concrete. So, for example, I have a fear of driving. I have a fear of going to a foreign country. Writing these things down and then kind of looking at them and kind of, analyzing them, kind of unpacking them. Is this true? Is there a lot of, for example, fear around going to another country? What's the basis of that? Will I be robbed? Will I be, assaulted? Will I lose money? Is that the way it is? So really kind of having things listed, written out, so for you to kind of look at it later and kind of think, Another kind of idea would be, let's say a friend said your fears, and what would you say to them? Would you tell them, yeah, don't go to another country, or don't drive? Would be that what you would say to them? Or would you maybe say something else? Think about it. Number 4, you got to take the jump. or pull the trigger. We can go through a lot of listening to motivational speakers, listening, reading about things, but it really comes down to, when are you going to pull that trigger? When are you really going to take that jump and go at it? That can be challenging, right? Because these fears can be with you maybe your whole life. When are you going to sit down and really, I'm going to do it. Today is the day I do it. This is my plan. I'm going to do it. What can help also is getting a support group involved. Friends, maybe your wife, your brother, your husband, your boyfriend, somebody that you trust who's been there for you before, and to kind of be there to support you, to kind of check in, kind of see how things going. And then afterwards, once you do go for it, maybe having a little celebration, kind of honoring your success, your victory, you could say. So we have to remember that, right? And we have to really go for it. We really have to do it and be prepared that it may work, it may not work, but what happens if it does? By us taking action can be quite powerful, quite rewarding. So, take on your fears. Your fears can be not as bad as you think. It's not too bad. All the best to you. Thumbs up to the video if you enjoyed it. And we'll see you in the next video. Dr. Ted out.